Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back. John Riggio, our architect, our pro tennis player, author, and man of the hour, joins us again here. Excited to talk more about his projects, residential, commercial, you name it. He does it. Based out of New Jersey, working in the tri-state. John, and here's your introduction. And here's the book. Yeah, it's hard to read. So My Own Court, the life story of tennis legend John Riggio. There he is. How are you today, darling?
Great. Thanks a lot, Jill.
Pleasure to have you here, superstar. I know we're going to focus on the architectural work today, but just for those who may not know a little bit about the book, where they can get it, I'd appreciate starting with that today.
Of course. Yes, the book, My Own Court, the life story of tennis legend John Riggio, is available on the internet. You can buy it on Amazon.com. You can buy that at the hardcover on Amazon, the paperback, and the ebook. You could also buy it at different locations online, like Barnes& and Noble, Kobo, Thrift Books, a number of other locations. They have the paperback and they have the ebook also. And if you get the ebook, of course, you could translate the writing into any language if English isn't your first language. And so the book is very good. It has a lot of stories of when I was younger playing pro tennis, and also has a lot of things about my architect profession. The two things, the architect profession and the tennis were really connected together. They were intended to work good together, and some other tennis players also were doing this kind of work. And the book is very interesting. I think you'd really like it. It has a lot of stories, and but as far as my architect profession, I have an office here in Metuchen, New Jersey. And I am licensed in New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania, and I do different projects over the years in the three different states. Um, but right now, I've been showing a lot of samples of some of my single family houses. There's a number of different kinds of projects with the single family houses. Some of them are using the existing foundations. Some of them are just basic additions, and some of them are completely new houses where the whole existing house is demolished, the foundations are completely ripped out, and the new house is constructed. The houses I work on all variety of sizes. They go smaller houses, maybe only less than 2,000 square feet. And a lot of the houses I've been working on are about 4,000. Some of them are even going over close to 6,000 square feet these days. Today I have one very nice job to show you. It was a project that is sort of currently going on. This is the house that was a split level, and they didn't really like the split level style house, so they wanted to change it into a colonial. So to do that, we had to change the entrance, change the where the entrance goes into the house, and really built a whole new floor connecting it so the house pretty much works like a colonial. I think one thing I've been discussing on each job is the difference between keeping some of the foundations and just building a whole new house. And I think probably if someone's watching this or listening to the show, they're probably wondering why you would keep some of the house. You figure if you're gonna build such a large house, 4,000, 5,000 square foot house, why wouldn't you just, keep remove all the foundations and always just build a new house?
Taxes,
Sounds good
taxes.
for
Wait,
me.
tell us, tell
It
us what
sounds good for me
happened.
because my fees is larger for the new house, of course.
Yes.
But what happens is from different projects, some of the owners have described to me what the reason is. And the reason is because they go for a loan to construct the house. And of course, the loan is based off of their income, how much money in savings they have to spend on the project. And some of the factors are even getting the permits. They don't want anything getting stopped. there's always a chance something could get stopped with any of the permits could cause a big problem for them. So what happens is on a lot of jobs, I think most jobs, the numbers coming through like $250,000. It's really like a base amount of money. Then when you get higher to this in the square
Mhm.
footages, a lot of them will start heading up to like 300, 350, close to $400,000. And a lot of people seem to reach their maximum. So I think one client was explaining to me by keeping the foundations with his loan and the savings, he was able to build a much larger house. And he was able to afford that size house by keeping the foundations, not having to get all the different permits, really spending extra money to demolish and remove the foundations of the existing house, remove it off the property.
Mhm.
All those started to add up to some money as they approached their limit. So by keeping some of the foundations there and saving some money on the job, they could build a larger house within their budget and everything works about the same. They're still getting the same end a house. It still has a nice value. A lot of the houses I've been working on, the value of the house is coming up to about 1 million, $1.1 million. And even the houses with the addition are coming up to about the same. I think one thing I did notice is people who went and spent that extra money or maybe figured out how to really get savings on the construction, those houses sold very fast. The new owners always moved in very fast. It's difficult for me to get pictures of the final new houses. I'm trying to really work on it to make sure I get the pictures now because they move in and then I cannot take any inside pictures. I just have some exterior photographs. So that is really one interesting thing that was happening. I think some things people were also looking at to save money on the construction when they go for the new house was using superior walls. I went down to the Superior Wall continuing education they had over here in New Jersey. I went down to their manufacturing plant. They showed me around, and I asked some questions, and that's what it was coming out to that they could save the client 20% on a foundation compared to building the foundation out of concrete block. And a more expensive foundation is poured concrete. So some people who were using the superior walls, they were able to get an insulated foundation wall, but they also saved some money. That extra 20%, getting closer to the maximum of what they could spend, was helping the job. So things like that were working very well. And so that's really the story of what's happening with why they would keep the foundations or why they wouldn't just remove all of them. Of course, in every job, I would always recommend if they, of course, can afford to construct a new house to build a new house because all those little problems that were existing with the foundation, the low ceilings in the cellar, we can completely remove, and you can get a nice ceiling that's maybe 8 foot 6, 9 foot high ceiling in the cellar. And usually you get higher first floor ceiling heights too if you're going to keep part of the first floor. So instead of maybe 8 foot or 8 foot 6, we go up to maybe 9 to 10 foot high on the ceiling height of the first floor. Second floor, a lot of times people usually go with a 9 foot high second floor. And so that brings the whole house where it's within the maximum. The different zones I've been showing, they have different maximums. Some are 32 feet, some are 35, some go up to 40 feet in height. So there's still room there for the two floors, the larger cellar, and a nice sized roof. Some people even utilize that attic space for storage, things like that. In some of the zones, we could even finish it, make it a half story. So that's what's happening with a lot of these jobs. And so one job I'm showing you here, let me just share this. Okay, so this here, let me just start off with the schematic drawing. Okay, Okay, so this is the schematic drawing of one of the designs. So this was really design number five going through this. I already sat down with the client going through. We adjusted the plan a number of times. And a lot of times on these jobs, the house gets larger and larger instead of getting smaller and smaller. Some people they like the ideas I give them and they want to go and they want to expand it, getting a further, a larger job. So then this here. So this is just the preliminary designs. And at this point, the whole house is shaded in because we're completely removing everything. We're renovating the whole house. And this shows the property in scale. They're seeing this in scale. They're seeing this has an existing driveway. Of this particular project, the only thing that didn't change was the driveway. Many projects I put in a circular driveway here, but this one, sort of the way the house is situated, they just sort of kept that driveway. They liked the side entrance to the garage, and that's the only really piece that stayed there the same without getting really changed too much. Um, then this one here is the next design drawing. Is this showing the first floor? Let me just zoom into this first floor. Okay, so what's happening here is the garage is pretty much staying the same. They had an existing sunroom. They didn't really want to get rid of it. Everything else is new. These dotted lines are all removing. The front of the whole wall of the house is completely removed. All the interior partitions are removed. The old stair is gone. So this here, we made this whole new entrance also. So now this has steps. Before you were just walking in on the grade level. Now you're going up five steps, which is sort of like a standard for most houses. Most people like five steps, and then you have a 4-inch step going into the house. Then you come to this entrance landing, and now the whole floor is aligned. Where you then walk over, you have this big double height space from the entrance all the way across. At the end, you have this wall where you put in a fireplace with the television. And then here you have this nice island with the kitchen. And this whole kitchen is brand new. And here to have the formal dining and some rooms here, prayer room, a pantry room. And then let's go down to the next floor. It's the second floor. And then this whole second floor is brand new. The floor that was there is gone. And you enter in this whole space in here, this double height space is completely open. It has the same type of railings. I made these nice openings with railings, so you walk past them and you look into the double height space. And here you go to this nice L-shaped stair. Then we have this nice open study room. It has a railing with a study room, and you can look all the way across to the double height spaces. This one is going across all the way 42 feet all the way across from this open study room wall all the way across to the master bedroom wall. It's very large. Then this here has a hallway. It goes into where you have one bedroom, two bedrooms, and they both share a bathroom in the hallway. Then you have the closed laundry room on the second floor. This is a standard for most houses. Most people don't like bringing the clothes down to the cellar anymore. This would add a space. They could have the laundry room on the second floor. Then here we have a bedroom where it has its own bath. This next bedroom also has its own bathroom with the walk-in closet. And then, of course, you have the double doors leading into the master bedroom with the dressing room on this one, two small closets, and then also has a big walk-in closet too. And then the bathroom has a large whirlpool tub, has a nice standing shower, of course, two lavatories and the toilet. So then let me go to the next drawing on this. So this particular job, what I was doing is selling them on this double height space. They couldn't visualize it that well. So this shows the whole new roof. And this shows the double height space with the arched openings and the railings in there, and then the L-shaped stair going to the second floor. So they really liked this idea. I showed them this idea, showing this section, and it was okay. I think the only thing about this project, which was different than some of the others, is them wanting to keep the old fireplace that was there next to the garage. So that involved extending the roof chimney all the way past the roof. So let me get to the next one. Okay, and then this is the proposed elevations. And this just shows the pretty much the elevations of a very long house. So it's to make it where it sort of has a lot of interest. I just showed the different features showing thin stone and then drive it in between them. So you get sort of like this nice master bedroom. Sort of has this. You look at it, you see it must have like a special room there, and then the entrance with a nice double height space. This has the bay window here and some fixed windows, picture windows up along the wall in that large volume of space there. And then this just shows the other elevations, just shows the side elevation, the rear elevation, and then the other side elevation. Then from there, we finalized the design. We might have made some more fine changes before it was finished, and then went over to the set of construction drawings. Um, so this house, it came out to 4,700 square feet. It's a nice large size house. And in this zone, they can build the house up to 40 feet, which is pretty large. Then this just shows the building characteristics, all kinds of basic calculations of volume and things like this. So let me just zoom out of here. Okay, so now this here is the plot plan. It just describes all the work that's involved. And this is standard of any project that I work on. Then the next sheet from there goes to the construction drawings. And pretty much this is just showing the new foundations, showing all the different construction of the walls here, details, window schedules, things like that. Depending on the jobs, some jobs I would provide a window schedule. A lot of times the window schedule in has to do with also the manufacturer of the windows. Some people are was pretty sure what they want to get. A lot of times on these projects, I usually use Anderson 400 series as a standard just to go by. And so that is usually how those drawings are put together. Then the next drawing,
Now, this is all done, by the way, just on, there's an app, there's a computer system. This is not you with your pencil anymore, right? Or do you still have to
no,
do those type of drafts? Just curious. This is like all, you do this on the computer in a program somehow, like
yes, I use CAD software and I really
CAD.
draw using my keyboard and the
Okay.
mouse, and I use the software and it works really good. Um, Certainly this is much faster than the old days of manual drawing. It turns out I was going through school, and as I graduated and got into the work world, everyone was changing from manual drawing to CAD. And I really excelled at the CAD drawing. Was able to help some offices really change over to CAD. And I was really the first one to really start using my plotter machine. I was printing out blueprints, line drawings in blue lines. And when I brought them to the building department, they were really impressed with them. At first, they weren't sure if those were blueprints or printed. And when I explained to them their computer drawings that I printed out, they were amazingly impressed. They couldn't believe it. And
Wow.
so this here is the second floor, and it shows all kinds of things that we added from the design. We added a terrace in the back of the house with sliding doors from the dressing room. Added a balcony over here on the left side in this bedroom. And some other small changes, but I think from the design, almost all of the changes are there. Some things almost all about the same. And then the same thing here, just detailing the roof. And let me go to the next drawing. So this here is the elevations. And here that has the elevations, some details for the elevations, just pointing out some things like particularly a shear wall over the garage. If you're building over your garage, you have to install or really construct a shear wall, and this has to do with metal anchoring, additional wood bracing. Because anytime also you build over your garage, the garage isn't insulated. It a lot of times isn't finished. They might have even built it with lighter construction. So all those
Yeah.
things are necessary in the garage to build over the existing areas. Um, then the next one is this is the sections, and I added a water diagram since they completely gutted out the whole house. There's new water piping,
Mm-hmm.
usual gas and water piping. A lot of times I would recommend electrical, but a lot of people they like to stick to a lot of gas fixtures. They like to keep a variety of different fuels. They like to keep the natural gas. Some people, what they have been also installing is something called a generic uh, electric generator. It works on natural gas. So you take the natural gas line, you connect it to something called a generic um, gas generator, and it's on the outside of your house. So if your electricity shuts off or you don't want to spend too much on just electricity, what you do is they have this generator that turns on and it generates electricity, and the electricity goes into your house through the same electrical panel that you would use from the direct utility, and it powers the whole house. So in case there's a blackout, the generic unit turns on using natural gas and has the whole house working on electricity. So it was really a trend. A lot of people they want to get these. Some of the house projects they did put in the generic electric unit. It works pretty good. Just from natural gas, just generates the electricity. And I think a lot of people have an idea to put it in.
Yeah.
They maybe they want to put it in the future. Sometimes I put it on the drawings. Sometimes they change their mind. A lot of it has to do with the initial cost. They could always put that unit in later. It depends on what their budget is, and a lot of times as the project goes on, there's all kinds of interesting budget issues. Sometimes a lot of people add on to the project. They spend an extra 50,000 or more, maybe putting in those iron doors, adding more money in the kitchen. Some people add on another $40,000 and put it into their kitchen, really get really nice fixtures and stone tops and things like that. So then the next drawing here, this is just a standard wood framing drawing, and this is just showing all the different construction for the house, so the contractor knows how to put the how the framing is supposed to go on the drawing. Then the next one here is a mechanical drawing, and this is a new this isn't new. This is just a requirement. Depends on the house, what type of construction is, if there's questions about the heating and cooling system, and then also this type of drawing helps the contractor with installing the system. He gets an idea of where the heating units are going to go, where the each heating unit is going to connect it to heat and cool the whole house. And that's pretty much where that is. So let me just go over and have some photographs of this house. So this here, let's go over and share this. Okay, okay, good. All right, so then this house here, you can see that this is the front of the house. I have my advertisement right there in the front of the lawn. And this is a really amazingly long house. You see how
Yeah.
wide it is. Let me just get an exact number on the width of that house. Okay, so this house is 87 feet wide. It's
Wow.
very long. And the house at the width is approximately at its widest, it's 44 feet. It goes between 35 and 44 feet on this house. There's
Wow.
little ins and outs. So it's very large. And I think this here you can see the balcony on the left side, put a little pent
Amazing.
over the two garage doors. Nice entrance with some columns.
Gorgeous.
And this is showing the front view of this. So this shows the new entrance and the double doors, all of the windows that are shown in the elevation. They match pretty well.
Wow.
And it's a very nice long house. This house, in fact, it overlooks it has like an open space across the street.
Nice.
And this is
It's
some
amazing how the
pretty good
plans turn
pictures.
into that. It's gorgeous.
Yes. So this is really amazing
And
and
a house like
came
that
out
goes
very
for what?
nice.
What does that go for? About a
Well, this
million
house, what happened
something?
is the owner was interested in making this whole addition to his house. So he didn't have to set it or anything. He
Got it.
moved right in. As soon as they finished the job, he's in the house. His whole family is there. During construction, of course, they had to move out for nearly about a year's time,
Wow.
which is a long time. They moved someplace for temporarily, and then after this house is completed, they all move right back into the house.
Amazing. All right. Well, we
This is
got a minute and a half left. What else? What else?
so this that is a usual situation for a larger job like this, and the
Yeah.
owner owns a house. He wants to make that addition. He has to move out for 6 months to a year, and then they really move back in when everything is signed off. It's really amazing.
It is all that work. It's beautiful when it comes to fruition like that. Ah, telling you, one day I'm still waiting. I need an extension. Can't wait. I'm sure it's going to cost me an arm and a leg, but I want one. I want a wider house. I want an 87-foot or 85-foot house. Oh. Well, John, how do we reach out to you for your services? And
So all you do is go to my webpage, www.johnriggio.com. There I have a description of my work. I have a portfolio, and of course I have my contact information. You can just send me an email, call my office number, and of course I'm gonna reply and I can help you with your project.
oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much. Always a pleasure. And don't forget my own court, The Life Story of Tennis Legend John Riggio. Here, go get a copy. Thank you so much, John. You have a fantastic day, and we'll talk next week. Same time, same place. Bye.
Welcome, Jill. Thanks.
Thank you.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.